That's why you vote, everybody.
Just
you get to have a say on
under
it.
2 hours until the polls open, 9:30
Yeah, some of the
this
polls
morning.
on the East Coast have opened.
Atlantic
so
Canada
we're all
already
ready to go.
opened.
It
very
started.
exciting. It's exciting.
Could we just talk about balloting for a minute? This is going to be such a long day for you, but you love this stuff.
I do love it, and I know, Raj, you've done this quite some time for
Covered
quite a
more
bit
in
of
my
time.
share, yep.
So tonight I'll be back for the special. So on citynews.ca, starting from 9 to 11, we'll be online.
Okay.
And so you can watch us anywhere on your tablet, laptop, whatever.
That's the great part about doing that, right?
It's the
It
best.
allows you to watch it anywhere you want.
Take us on the go, and then at 11 o'clock we'll be live on City TV. You know that newscast typically goes an hour, but we're going to extend depending on how the results roll in, because I have a feeling it's going to go beyond that.
As long as it
When,
takes.
because
Yes,
when do
for sure.
West Coast close at 11 o'clock our time? I'm trying to.
Yeah,
it's staggered. They've tried to bring them closer together, but there is still a gap, like I think an hour and a half gap. I want to say
That's
11
it.
o'clock.
So,
right?
and it really just depends on how close it's going to be. And
Yeah.
I think, as most of the polls have been saying, that it should be close. So we'll see how this one rolls out. But I was telling you, Dee, I'm scouting out the couches in this building. So
I'd like
anyone
that.
in here, let us know which is the comfiest couch. I'll be sleeping here, and probably sleeping like this with the same makeup, just adding the same layer.
Come on, you're going to
Hair
work
on.
tomorrow morning?
Same
Yes, I'll be
clothes,
here.
everything. It's going to show up looking
It's
exactly
not a
the same.
sleep. She's going to have like a wee nap.
A baby nap.
Oh my gosh,
It'll
Mel.
be good.
And of course,
You
people
gotta
are
have power
talking
nap.
about the fact that it is looking like it's a dead heat right now, a race between Liberals and Conservatives. So if we do end up in a minority government come tomorrow morning when you've had your nap, what does this mean? Will we be going back to the polls in a year or two?
There's a whole bunch
So
of
many
depends
scenarios.
on this.
Yeah.
It depends on who gets to form the government. It could be if it's the Liberals, even if the Conservatives end up with more seats, it could be the Liberals actually starting to form the government, a coalition of some type, which we haven't seen in a while. There's all kinds of things that could play out.
And it's hard for us to make up all those scenarios because you could still see a majority government
you don't know.
pull
Right.
it out at tonight, so this will be really interesting. But the numbers that you should know, the number of federal ridings, there are 338. The magic number you're looking for a majority is 170. If anyone catches 170 seats, that means they will win a majority government.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it's going to happen, but you never know.
There's too many ifs, if they do well here, if they do well there, if there could be a majority government. And sometimes the strategic voting can backfire.
And we're so polarized right
people
now.
squeak in. Yeah.
Who
it's-
knows?
That's it. And look at some of these numbers. It's really interesting to see. When you look at the map of Toronto, we know it was swept in red in 2015, all red. And in fact, when you looked across the GTA, a lot of red, sprinklings of blue. But there are so many interesting ridings, which our Tammy Sutherland is following. She's going to be live as well, so she might join me for nap time tonight. She's going to be in Toronto Danforth, and that was the riding previously held by the late Jack Layton. So this will be a very interesting one. We know Adam Van Koeverden,
Yep.
former Olympian, he's running in Milton. That's an interesting one. Jane Philpott. So there's so many ridings that could change hands, and that will have a huge impact. What happens in the GTA will really have a major impact on what happens nationwide.
Will be very indicative for the Liberals because they dominated here.
That's right.
And they have to dominate here again. And the big thing is will they be able to hold on to these seats here in Ontario? Because
Yes.
they had about 80 here in Ontario. And that'll be a big thing for them. Out west will be the Conservatives. How do they do?
And I look back at voter turnout. So in 2015, the national average was 66%. And then Ontario was just under that national average at 64%. Most people turned out in, it was in Halifax or Nova Scotia, where most people turned out, and least amount in Nunavut. But we were just under that national average in Ontario. Let's hope it goes up, because if advance polls are any indication of the appetite there is,
They're up.
hopefully that means that people are just engaged. And we heard from Google, people are interested. They want to know what is happening, not just the hair or, that sort of thing. They want the facts. Like, what do they stand for? How do I get out and vote?
Try
which I love.
and better understand them, which is nice. Just even background on the individuals as well. And it would be nice to see us get over 70% because we're starting getting back into the historic norms that we saw for a long, long time. But in the last 20 or so years, it really have dropped off.
And I
which
feel
is
like
engagement.
a lot
It's
of
great to
people
see
are maybe
engaged.
feeling voter apathy, because
That's
it's like, instead of saying, here's my platform, here's what I can do, it's been more about what you can't do and how I'm going to trash you. And that's too bad when it goes to that, because the message doesn't come clear as to what a candidate wants to do for the country. It's all about bashing the other competitors. So hopefully, like you said, they'll take a look at our website, citynews.ca. We've got like a little cheat sheet as to what, before you head to the polls, take 10 minutes to read it, and maybe that'll help you out in terms of deciding.
Look to your
Yeah, that
ridings.
angry politics is so unhealthy.
Yeah.
Because it's not an exchange of ideas anymore. It's just yelling at each other.
Bashing.
And we don't need that.
That's
Yeah.
it. Doesn't help anyone. So yeah, everything you need to know. Go to our website and then engage with us too through the evening as well. So at BT Toronto, use that hashtag CityVote2019 through the morning and through the night. And we're going to be pulling. Part of my role this evening is going to be social media reaction as well as the ridings as they get called. So I'm going to be standing at that big monitor up on the 4th floor. What you're talking about, we'll bring in those tweets and as well as who's winning.
Oh, and a reminder, your boss has to allow you 3 consecutive hours today by law to go and vote. So if you feel like there's no way I can get out of it, they have no choice.
Yeah.
They have to abide
Yeah,
by
you have
that.
to have a 3-hour window. That your
Consecutive.
boss you may only have to have an hour off from work, but you need 3 hours consecutive to
Yep.
get out there and vote. And get out and vote. There's no excuse.
That's right. At BT Toronto, keep chiming in all morning long.